Welcome back, everybody. It's been a really long time, way too long, but we have a new project today, a new job. It's going to be for the TA. You see back here behind me. It's been a long time since it's been the center of attention, so today we're going to take the suspension the next step further to being completely refreshed and ready to go. Hit the track, hit the canyons, hit the back roads, whatever it is that this thing may see in the future, it's going to be ready for it. You want to go ahead and tell them what exactly you're going to be doing today?
Well, today I got lower control arms to finish up the control arm side of it, and I also have, most importantly, tie rod ends, inner and outer. They're ball ends, is that the right word?
Pivot ball ends, yeah.
They're pivot ball ends, and they're also a bump steer kit, so it should eliminate all of that nasty bump steer that the car's picked up since it's been lowered. So let's get started.
Alright, and without any further ado, so here are the control arms. We got Moped, huh?
Only fully assembled control arm that Rock Auto offers.
Yeah, it looks nice and beefy. That is beefy. Nice. Brand new stuff, good bushings. Let's start of the show, it's going to be this. So, this right here is the actual bump steer kit that you're looking at. Got the inners and the outers. And then the rod that also controls the bump steer.
There's spacers in this kit here. It allows you to adjust the height of the tie rod position on the shaft, and that should be everything we need to eliminate the bump steer in the car, as well as tighten up the steering immensely.
So in case if you're wondering how we're going to figure out how to do the bump steer calculations to figure out how many spacers it may need, we don't know yet. We're going to take it we don't know yet. We're going to figure it out as we go along, as is the nature of the channel. So, let's move on. Let's get the car jacked up, get the wheels off, and just get started.
Leverage. But I intend to get the car back on 17s on all four wheels here shortly after this. I just kept smoking all the tires I put on it with the shut alignment. So this should be everything I need to resolve that. So let's get it up in the air.
Mega core showing Batman.
Oh shit.
That's gnarly. Definitely time for an alignment. Definitely good, but definitely time for tie rod. As you can see, Ben is running the premium edition DOT approved Road Slick, man. This thing is amazing. You have just enough tread to, you know, shred off some water it may pick up here and there. And to be DOT approved, but slicks all the way around, baby. You can see just how sticky they are too. So sticky, so sticky.
That's actually the Goodyear I bought the car with 5 years ago. And they weren't new then.
Dry that much?
How time flies. 55,000 miles in 5 years.
Yeah.
2 rear differentials, 3 engines, 5 clutches. It's been fun.
Wire check. It's bad, but not as bad. At the current standing components that will be getting removed and replaced. Tie rod, you can see it's got torn boot. Obviously, it's being worn.
It drove straight up until I hit the curb in that ice storm.
Oh yeah. And the ball joints on the little control arm. Hard to see. But we're gonna go ahead and get this bad boy out.
Okay, so the thing to watch out for with bump steer is this tie rod angle is shifted off from the control arm angles. So what ends up happening is as the suspension moves through its articulation up and down, it will be either pulled in or pulled out camber-wise as it goes up and down. We're going to try to eliminate that, but right now I'm going to just try and move it up and see if we can visually see what's going on real quick.
I don't know how well the camera picked it up, but you can see the whole assembly here as it moved up, it kind of tilted in a little bit. Let me just cambering in. Give me some negative camber there.
We already have an abundance of negative camber. But it has
Slam
been,
life, man.
It has been a really sketchy feeling whenever I do go over like a bump that causes the car to jump a little bit. And yeah, I don't like it.
Defeated.
The control arm ate it. Oh. They gotta come off anyways.
We will win.
Okay, so at this point, the sway bar has been removed. The old tie rods have been removed. So the tool should fit. We can get the tie rods. Oh wait, tie rods haven't been removed yet. Ha 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 ha. I trolled myself. Right, so now the tool should fit so we can remove the tie rods and move on. It's awfully tight.
I think this definitely deserves a shout out as one of potentially the greatest tools ever made.
That snarling beast.
For the comparison, size, length, girth.
Oh, it's just busted right through. Here's an inner tie rod. Here's another inner tie rod. Oh, new one is noticeably shorter.
Oh wow.
I can't really.
Too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That and the actual shaft.
Yeah, there is a difference there, isn't there? Oh, cool. I wonder what brand these are.
Isn't it Umi?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like this is probably a part they would have outsourced.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's probably like a Moog or something rebranded.
Probably.
So the stock stuff uses this sloppy old ball joint, as you can see, and the new stuff uses this fancy pivot ball. It goes this way, and we can space it here to figure out what we need. I'm kind of just eyeballing it to this one to see. So it looks like the zero position is probably the same as stock, so that's good. So anything we add to it will help with our bump steer.
We're gonna go ahead and move along to the control arms. What?
Just this nut.
Oh.
Or
Yeah.
the bolt that comes through the...
It's on the back side. It has a head. I touched it. You gotta go reach around the frame. Cradle. Reach around.
You are just so charged.
Dude, just look at that. Just look. It's like, come on, man, come on. Why you gotta do me like that, bro? That's off, and the one over here's off. And those are off. This comes right out. So it's ready to come off, minus this freaking guy. Well, we may have to actually drop the subframe to get this guy off, because the bolt hits the body of the car chassis.
2,000 years later.
So after wrestling the bear of control arms, oh, that's those. They're off.
Yeah, so both ball joints are out. Both control arms are out. These bushings are shot. This ball joint is shot. So we got new stuff and we're gonna replace it right now.
As you guys have already previously seen, these bad boys are going on right now. We had to drop the subframe down a bit. Yeah. Quite a bit, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do to get the job done. You can see that giant gap right there.
My leg's in the way. Whew.
That's one way to do it.
I think I did it. Tell me you filmed that.
Alright. Oh, you guys can still see me. Well, we are losing light fast, but the good news is both control arms are now installed. We wrestled with the chassis and the subframe and the control arms and the bolt, trying to get that to line up just before it dropped right in perfectly. Finally, it worked. So we can go ahead and start putting everything back together and do a quick road alignment and maybe go for a test drive. We'll see what the light holds for us, but let's get back to work. Have no fear, new tires are here. In case you're wondering, it is a new day. It got really dark and mosquito infested and it was just bad, real bad. So we're gonna finish up where we left off yesterday. And in the meantime though, it's all back together.
The inner tie rods are on, you saw that happen. They came back off, the rest of the front suspension went on. And then the inner tie rods went back on, so we're picking up basically where we left off.
Install tie rods and then figure out some sort of drivable alignment, and that'll be a good. So we noticed something tragic happened while we were messing with the subframe. As you remember, we had to drop the subframe in order to get this lower control arm bolt out. In the process of bolting back up the subframe, the ABS wires kind of got smashed there. So definitely gonna have to probably get those replaced. Hopefully they still work.
Watch them work in a bad way where the ABS is like...
That would be terrible.
To start, we're gonna put this outer tie rod portion on. Just goes in there like normal. That's kind of cool because you don't have any of the other stuff getting in your way. Throw the washer on. Throw the nylon lock nut on. Tighten it down. I'm using a 5/8 right now. I wish aftermarket manufacturers realized I hate putting English fasteners on my metric car, but what you gonna do? So that's nice and tight. Okay, so now things get a little more tricky. Normally we would install these spacers between here to eliminate out the bump steer by moving the steering geometry down. But just for starters, we're gonna try and set up the alignment just as it would be normally. So we're just gonna set it up here. We're gonna run all of our washers up on this side and then run the nut down and work on alignment.
Check out that toe, gang. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's pretty pointed. It's pretty toed out. Some quick speculation. When I switched my S14 over from the standard tie rod setup to a pillow ball tie rod and pillow ball tension rod, first things I noticed in the steering was more immediate steering response. The feel was a lot more lively. Like you could feel the road better. It was tighter, and it just all around felt more planted. Gave you a little bit more confidence in being able to know where the car was and where it was going based on what you could feel, the vibrations and whatnot you could feel through the steering wheel, through the steering. And I loved it, enjoyed it. Mine weren't this adjustable, but this is cool. We're learning something new.
But I didn't realize bump steer would even be an issue till the car was lower, and then I was like, oh, I'm learning.
Alright, so as loosely mentioned earlier, we're going to be just doing a quick, basically, eyesight alignment with this, just to get the wheels as straight as we can, steering wheel as straight as we can, so it can drive as straight as it can drive. That way it can get professionally aligned properly. Different methods to go about doing that. I'm sure some of you guys have seen the toe plates that are out there. That's essentially a plate that's like a T, an upside down T, and you use that to measure the toe by putting 2 measuring tapes on either side, and you can measure the difference in the distance from the point of the wheel to the body of the car. And it's kind of easier to see on the car itself actually. And you want to use the rear tires, the rear wheels, as your straight I guess your x-axis, and then you can use like some fishing line that you would run across, and you can measure the points also, which is probably what we're going to be doing right now since we do not have the toe plates. But right now I'm just trying to align it as best as I can by eye, and I'm using basically the rotor diameter itself and the line of sight from the tire with the car. I must say, these aftermarket tie rods are very easy to adjust. Way easier than any OEM tie rod I've ever touched, and I've touched quite a few.
Bottom it out and see where it can go from there. Okay. See, I don't know. Pretty much what I just did just now is I've yanked the caster all the way out on it and I've pushed the camber all the way in on it. And I think that'll be a good initial starting point.
Alright, so now that everything has been adjusted to what we feel is a comfortable starting or 0 point for right now, we're going to go ahead and put the wheels on it. That way we can get a better idea of where everything stands. Maybe even use the jack and articulate the suspension, get an idea of what it looks like. So just got done making our preliminary adjustments. I'm catching a runaway socket. And we're gonna go ahead and lower it down. Lower it down and see how it goes. Sorry, I knocked over the mosquito thing.
Little pro tip, guys. If you're gonna be jacking up your car as often as me or Devon and I, highly recommend using some wood blocks between your jack stands and your jack, because it just helps not bang up the bottom of the car. It makes a big difference in the long run.
Oh, dude, that looks... Not even joking, that looks spot on. Okay.
Good enough to take it for a garage.
I kind of feel that way. To give you an idea of if it's going to pull. And whichever side it pulls to more has more toe out.
Made your toe out of this side. Put it back down with it all tightened up and then go for a test drive.
Recalibrated, 100 pounds. So we just got Alright, so we just got done making our second adjustment. We just tightened down the lock nuts and torqued down the wheels. Made a little small adjustment on the toe on the one side because it was kind of toed out, we could tell that. And now we're ready for our first test drive. And go ahead and drop us a like if you found this video useful, helpful, entertaining, whatever it may be. Drop us a like down below. It really helps us out and we do appreciate it. Alright, first drive time. I am excited. Actually, I haven't been in the car since a lot of work has been done. You guys saw that too.
That doesn't normally happen. Yeah, it's got a slight pull to the right.
Alright.
Notice it looks better than it was though.
So, what are your thoughts so far?
It's different. It's a lot more predictable.
You can place it where you want.
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
I can just throw it right in and I can feel it out even, you know? It doesn't trick me up.
Doesn't like a good old thrashing to test it out.
It's the only way to test it out. I almost feel like I want a little more camber.
Yeah? It'll help you when you lean into the turns. Smells like brakes.
Yeah.
So we just got back from the first test drive after we've done all the work on suspension. So, quick recap. New lower control arms, new inner and outer tie rods.
Our DIY alignment, kinda.
Yeah, that's right, and we aligned everything after all that was done. On top of the new suspension that was already done in previous videos, shocks, springs, and bushings, swivel bar end links, that thing. So, all new suspension bits all the way around, and I gotta say, the car feels great. I remember it being really floaty, kind of like a yacht, and now it's a lot more planted, it's a lot more stable. Even with the short little drive I had, it goes where you want it to a lot more effectively and efficiently.
Yeah, I found the same thing. The turn-in was predictable. It just rode right through it exactly how I naturally thought it would. It felt good. I thought it would feel a lot more race car. Maybe with more alignment setup it will, but it just felt really good, really nice. Where before it felt bad.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about gonna wrap it up for this video. We really hope you appreciated and enjoyed it. Thanks again for checking it out. Like always, remember to go out there and do something awesome. Remember to drop us a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.